Salutations, family. It's your girl T back with the final 4C Friday of Vlogmas 2018. I'm back today with another buy it or DIY it. For the uninitiated, this is where I compare an over-the-counter product that claims to do something to a version that you make yourself at home. Pretty self-explanatory from my ever so catchy title, but just in case. Last time around I compared detanglers. I compared the Diva Curl Wash Day Wonder to my greatest detangler of all time recipe. So if you missed that one, I'll link it right here. And today, as you saw from the title of the video as well as the thumbnail, I am comparing mud washes. Specifically, I'm comparing the Naturalicious Moroccan Rhassoul 5-in-1 clay treatment. This product claims to be a shampoo, conditioner, deep conditioner, detangler, and leave-in conditioner. I believe there are two formulations of this. This is the one for tight curls and coils, because that's what I got. I don't really know how this would differ in terms of ingredients compared to the other one, but this is what I have, so this is what we're going with. And I compared that to a DIY mud wash, for which there are, of course, myriad recipes out there. Just do a YouTube search and you will be overwhelmed. This product is not cheap. It has been on my radar for quite some time and I never pulled the trigger because, as I shared in my previous buyer DIY, I really don't like spending a lot of money on hair products because they literally go down the drain. I prefer to spend my money on inexpensive to moderately priced products that just work very well for me, and or on ingredients and then just make things myself. However, time is money, and I can see why a lot of us simply can't be bothered with buying a bunch of ingredients and getting our kitchen mixtress on. This is the MSRP of the Naturalicious Mud Wash, and this is about what it costs to make the DIY recipe that I used in this video. Just like I did in my last buy it or DIY it, I split my hair in two and I used the Naturalicious on this side and my DIY mud wash on this side. I will leave the particulars in terms of the ingredients and amounts of my mixture for my mud wash in the description box. And to keep this as much of an apples to apples comparison as possible, I did use Rhassoul clay for my mud wash because that is the type of clay used in the Naturalicious. However, there are other clay options out there if you are going to DIY it. You can use a blend of different clays. You can use bentonite, you can use Rhassoul, you can use French green clay, which I love, you can use kaolin clay. On the side where I used the Naturalicious mud wash, I did find that I was being very, very sparing with the product. This is an 8-ounce bottle, and I think because of the price, I can't be the only one who would be kind of precious with it. You certainly could easily use this entire bottle in 1 or 2 uses if you have a hair length and density similar to mine, and frankly my hair is not all that dense. I have thick strands, but my density is normal, so my hair is coarse, but overall it isn't thick in terms of density. I did keep my hair as wet as possible whilst applying this, just so that I could get as much of a full coating as I could without burning through this entire bottle. And that is what this instructs to do. It says to shake it well before using, wet hair thoroughly, then apply this onto hair, coat all of hair evenly with product, massage into hair and scalp, then gently detangle, rinse out, and apply Naturalicious, blah, 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 buy more of our products. I didn't find this particularly easy or difficult to apply. It felt pretty standard when compared to other commercial mud washes I've tried, like Terra Essentials, or when compared to my DIY one. However, I was a lot less heavy-handed with this due to the size of the container. I was working with very wet hair. I don't even think I remembered that the instructions said that when I was using it. I just knew that I needed my hair to be very wet so I could stretch the product as much as possible when applying it, because I didn't want to use half the bottle or even the full bottle in one application. After using this once on only half of my hair, it's already down to about here, it looks like. So I imagine I would never be able to get more than 2-3 uses max out of one full bottle on my entire head. Both mixtures had that sort of customary slight bit of grittiness, or moderate amount of grittiness, honestly, that I've never really experienced not being in any clay washes. They all have a bit of grit because it's mud. Simply because I was aware of the cost effectiveness of my DIY version, I was able to apply it much more liberally. I was able to use whatever concentration of clay that I wanted. And I also added conditioner to my mix, which is something I typically do anyway. I did find that that conditioner in my mix made this one easier to apply than the ready-made version from Naturalicious. I was also able to get a fuller coverage on the DIY side because I was able to make a much larger batch for less money than this entire bottle costs. I did shampoo my hair prior to this experiment because it had been a few weeks since my wash day, and I don't like to rely on clay alone to properly cleanse my scalp, especially if it's been a few weeks since my last wash day. Once I had applied each of the washes to either side of my head, I left that on for about half an hour, and I did apply heat. I used my cordless hot head cap, so I'll link that in the description box as well. I let my hair cool off, and then I rinsed. The side with the Naturalicious rinsed relatively easily. I was rinsing for quite a while, but not really an excessive amount of time. I thought it was pretty much on par with any time I've had to rinse any other mud washes or henna out of my hair. Meanwhile, I was expecting this side to be much harder to rinse because, as you probably saw during the application, my mix was quite thick, almost paste-like. However, I didn't find that the DIY side was any more difficult to rinse compared to the Naturalicious side. My hunch is that it was aided by the use of the conditioner in my mix. After rinsing, my findings were that I felt the DIY side had stayed more detangled after rinsing, and even during the rinsing process, I was able to finger detangle whilst under my shower head, which wasn't really something I felt like I could do on the Naturalicious side. There wasn't enough slip or lubrication or really just product overall on the Naturalicious side for me to feel like I could really get in there and do some solid finger detangling, whereas on the DIY side, I was surprised at how well I was able to finger detangle. The DIY side also felt softer after I rinsed it compared to the Naturalicious side. While this product does claim to be a conditioner and deep conditioner and detangler and leave-in conditioner, that wasn't necessarily my experience. In fact, after rinsing this, I felt like I still wanted to deep condition my hair. I felt like I needed to deep condition my hair. Whereas on this side, my hair felt conditioned and soft and ready to move on to styling. For the purposes of this experiment, I did not deep condition after using these, but I really wanted to deep condition this half of my head. This side, I actually felt completely comfortable moving on to styling. I think incorporating some actual conditioner into that mix, once again, gave me that edge. So for me and in my experience, this is not really a deep conditioner on its own, let alone being a leave-in conditioner. In fact, because I still felt like I needed to deep condition, I went ahead and used my go-to leave-in conditioner, the Chemet Biologics Burdock Root Butter Cream, because there was no way I was skipping some additional moisture after using this on the side of my head. Similar to how it was an absolute wash on the ease of rinsing, both sides were about the same. I felt like both sides were also about equally defined in terms of curl poppage. My curls don't really pop, my hair doesn't do that, but to the extent that my hair will attempt to pop a curl, I felt like both sides did a great job. And it was actually pretty impressive that even with a relatively thin coating of this, I do think I had my hair fully coated, but it was a thin coating compared to the DIY side, and it was still able to achieve the maximum possible popping of curls that my hair would achieve. So, buy or DIY? The verdict? DIY it, obviously. I think it was probably pretty obvious from me talking through the point-by-point comparison that I definitely feel like I had an equivalent or better experience on the DIY side, not to mention the amount of money that it saves. While I don't think this is a bad product, I think for the price, it's not sustainable for me. So what I would probably do is next time around, mix this with some conditioner, not only to help stretch the product and make it last longer, but to also give my hair some of that conditioning that I don't think I really get from this product on its own. As I said, I don't think this is a bad product. I just don't think that it does everything it claims to do on the label for my hair. And since I can get an equivalent, if not better result with the DIY version, it's the clear winner to just do it yourself. That's it for me today. Thanks so much for watching this last 4C Friday of Vlogmas. It's been fun doing all these videos, although exhausting. I hope this video was helpful in your hair mud purchasing decisions, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the last Style Day video of Vlogmas, where I finally spill the tea on these passion twists, girl. Until then, bye-bye.
That's a nappy-headed hose there, I'm going to tell you that now.